Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Belmont Park here on Friday. It is June the 8th, 2018. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Belmont, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and also join me tomorrow for my Belmont Stakes preview video. Actually, it's going to be, it's actually not going to be up tomorrow. It's going to be hopefully up later Thursday afternoon, so go check that out. But today's card from Belmont's an excellent card of racing. I really mean it. You have stakes races galore, and I'm gonna look at all of them. Those races are races 3, 5, 8, 9, and 10. So races 3, 5, 8, 9, and 10. It's also an excellent, the late pick 4 today at Belmont's excellent. So go play that. But let's get on to it. Starting off race number 3 from Belmont, the third race. It is the 62nd running of the Bed of Roses Invitational, Grade 3 purse $250,000. It's for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going the distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 7 furlongs on the Belmont main track. It looks like the weather is going to be good for Friday. Saturdays, every other minute I look at the weather report. One day one minute it looks like it's going to pour. The other minute it looks like you're going to have sunny skies. So it's the weather should be good Friday. Saturday, it's going to be iffy, maybe. But my top pick here in the Bed of Roses, I like the 6-horse Lewis Bay. I'm going to go 6-2-3-8 in the superfecta. 6-2-3-8 super. That's my top 4. My top selection, the 6-horse Lewis Bay. 4-1, 5-year-old mare by Bernardini. Irad Ortiz Jr. is on this one. This horse's most recent outing came about 5.5 weeks ago now at Churchill. 7 furlongs on a wet fast but still going in the Grade 1 Humanidis staff. This horse finished third by 5 lengths that day. Didn't have the best beginnings that day and just really was rushed most of the race. Never really got there. I think coming back to Belmont where this horse really likes to run, this horse should be on a major improvement. Back to the home base. Before that, this horse ran the 7th of April at Keelan. 7 furlongs in the Madison, the Grade 1 Madison. This horse finished third by a head that day and just really had, didn't have the best of trips that day. Really couldn't get there. It was coming a little bit too late, and it just wasn't there. And then before that, the 19th of February Gulfstream, 1 mile in the Grade 3 Royal Delta. Horse finished second by a length that day. Stalked early and just really never had that good closing kick at the end. But before that, in the Grade 3 Rampart at Gulfstream, 1 mile December the 16th of 2017. First start in a little over a year. This horse won by 1/4 lengths on lead all throughout. Just had a very nice, easy victory there at 5-2. But like I said a little earlier, this horse likes running at Belmont. Her most recent Belmont race came on the 29th of October of 2016. Mile 16th in the Grade 3, Turnback, the Alarm Handicap. This horse won by 5 1/4 lengths and just, on the lead all throughout, just opened up easily. A very easy race for this horse. And then before that, in the Mother Goose of 2016, this horse finished second by 1/2 length. It had a horrible beginning. If this horse didn't break all that, if this horse broke better, I think she could have won. But, that beginning was horrible and she just had to be rushed at the end. Probably took a little out of her. But she likes running here at Belmont a lot. I think here today she should run a big one at 4-1. Watch out for her. In a multi-race scenario now, the early pick 5. I would go use my 6-horse Lewis Bay. Of course, she's my top selection. And I would use the 2-horse American Gal also if she runs in this race. So I would go too deep here. So to recap my bets for the third from Belmont, it's the 62nd running of the Grade 3 Bed of Roses Invitational. Gonna go as a top selection the 6-horse Lewis Bay. Gonna go 6-2-3-8 in the superfecta. I'll go 6-2 in a multi-race. So now let's get on to race number 5 from Belmont. The 5th race, it is the Tremont Stakes. Purse $150,000. It's for 2-year-olds here. Field of 7 2-year-olds going the distance of ground of 1,100 meters, or the distance of ground of 5 1/2 furlongs on the Belmont main track. 5 1/2, 1,100. My top selection here, I like the 4-horse a lot. Outshine. I'm going to go 4-7-3-1 in the superfecta. 4-7-3-1 super. Now to a multi-race scenario. This race is so wide open. Um, I would go four deep in this one and like to pick five or pick four because it's just so wide open. These 2-year-olds are very unpredictable, I say. But my top selection of four horse Outshine. The 2-year-old calls by Malibu Moon. John Velasquez on this one. This horse's most recent outing came about 3 weeks ago now at here at Belmont, May the 17th. 5 furlongs on a sloppy going. The main special weight 96,000. This horse won by 2 3/4 lengths that day. Sat back early, got the lead, and then he took off clear at the end. A very nice victory for this horse on a very sloppy day here in New York. Since then he's been training quite well. Most recent workout, June the 1st at Belmont, sloppy going again, 4 furlongs and 49 and 4, the 8th best workout of 18. So that was a good sign that he came out of the race quite well. But I like his pedigree here, and I like his running style. His first race, he came from the back of the pack, which I think you're going to need here because you're going to see a hell of a lot of pace in this one. At 7-2, watch out for this horse to run a big one. Another horse I have here on the ticket is a 7 horse, and may never know. Gary Stevens coming in to ride this one for Wesley Ward. This horse ran the Thursday of Kentucky Derby week here at Belmont. 5 furlong main special weight for 96,000, and this horse won by 1 1/4 lengths, 7.5 to 1. With I don't know how many people how people missed this horse. Gary Stevens coming to New York on a Thursday afternoon to ride a horse for Wesley Ward, and it was a 2-year-old, and this horse went off at 7.5 to 1, and he won very nicely. A lot of people missed that, but this horse quickened up nicely and just had a very nice, easy victory. Since then, this horse has been based here in New York at Belmont, and he's been training on the inner turf course. Decent workouts, going half miles, but I think here today, in this race, back to the main track, I like this horse's chances a lot because his last race was very impressive. At 9 to 5, watch out for him. But like I said, I'm going to go 4 deep in this one at multi-race, so watch out. So to recount my bets for the 5th from Belmont's to Tremont, going to go as a top selection to 4 horse Outshine. I'm going to go 4-7-3-1 in the superfecta. I'll go 4-7-3-1 in my multi-race. So now let's get on to race number 8 from Belmont. The 8th race, it's the 40th running of the True North Stakes, Grade 2, purse $250,000. This race is for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,300 meters, or the distance of ground of 6 1/2 furlongs on the Belmont main track. 6 1/2, 1,300 meters. My top selection here, I like the number 3 horse, Imperial Hint. I'm going to go 3-5-4-6 in the superfecta, 3-5-4-6 super. But to actually tell you the truth, the 5 horse Limousine Liberal is going to scratch out of this one, so it's going to be actually a trifecta now, 3-4-6. So 3-4-6 trifecta, because I read somewhere yesterday that Limousine Liberal will be scratching out of this race to run in the Met Mile tomorrow. So 3-4-6, I said that 5 times already, I fucking know. But my top selection, 3 horse Imperial Hint, 9-2. Javier Castellanos on this 5-year-old horse by Imperialism. This horse's most recent outing came on in the Grade 2 Churchill Downs at Churchill Downs on a sloppy going, 7 furlongs, May the 5th. Horse finished 6th by 4 1/4 lengths that day. Was just off the pace setters that day, and just, he couldn't keep up with them at the end. The closers got to him. Limousine Liberal had a great race. Limousine Liberal loves Churchill. This horse just wasn't, keeping up with them there. Before that, Tampa, 6 furlongs in the sprint. This horse won by 5 lengths, and he was almost on lead all through. Just had a very nice, easy victory there. And then before that, at Del Mar, 6 furlongs in the Breeze Cup sprint. This horse finished second by a length at 4.5 to 1. 9-2. He ran a great effort there. He just missed, but like I said, he ran a great effort there. And then before that, in the Delvine Memorial Sprinted Park, 6 furlongs, September the 4th. Horse won by 6 1/4 lengths, 20 cents to the dollar, very easy victory. He's 1-0 here at Belmont. That just scares me a little bit, but that one start came quite a while ago when this horse wasn't really good yet. But since then, this horse has gotten a lot better, and he's become a very quick horse. And I think here today, he's been training well. I think he could go away with it at 9-2. Watch out for him. Now to a multi-race scenario. Yeah, I'm going to use my 3 horse Imperial Hint, of course. He's my top selection. I'm also going to use definitely the the number 4 horse, Bobby Abu Dhabi. I think he could run a big one, and I think I would probably use Westwood also. So I would go 3, 4, 6 in a multi race here. This is the beginning of a late guaranteed 500K pick 4, so I would go 3 deep. So to recap my bets for the 8th from Belmont, it's the 48th running of the Grade 2. True North. Gonna go with the 3 horse Imperial Hint. Gonna go 3, 5, 4, 6 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 9, the 9th race from Belmont. It's the 75th running of the New York, presented by Naira Bets. It's a Grade 2 race going for a purse of $600,000. Races for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 9 horses going the distance of ground of 2,000 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/4 on the inner turf course here at Belmont. 2,000 meters, a mile and a quarter, inner turf course. Great race. This race always comes up good in years past. My top selection in this one, I like the 2 horse Holy Helena. I'm going to go 2, 5, 6, 8 in the superfecta. 2, 5, 6, 8 super. Top selection, the 2 horse Holy Helena, or Helena. 6-1, 4-year-old filly by Ghost Zapper. Manny Franco gets up on this one. You know, this horse's most recent outing came in the local prep race for this race, the 5th of May here at Belmont. Mile 3/8 inner turf course in the Sheep's Head Bay. You know, this horse won by a half length, I'd say. Was a little bit wide, but she quickened up nicely and had a very nice, easy victory there. An all-around decent effort. And I think I just said inner turf course the Sheep's Head Bay was on. It was actually in the Widener, so just keep that in mind. But she just won very nicely there. It was a little subpar group of horses. Before that, the 3rd of March at Gulfstream, mile 3/16 in the Grade 3 very one. This horse upset it at 7-2. She won by 1 3/4 lengths. She quickened up nicely and had a very nice turn of foot there. Decent effort for this horse. And then a month earlier, first start on the grass at Gulfstream, 1 mile on the opposite 5 claimer. She won by a neck. She quickened up nicely, but it wasn't a very impressive victory as it was next start out in the very one. But she did get the victory. I think the horse's best distance today will be this 1 1/4 or 2,000 meter trip. Like I said, she's bred to go it. She's won at it already. You know, she's a horse that looks like she could be forwardly placed, which you need to be on this turf course. There's a lot of closures in this race, and there's not a lot of speed. I think with her being a little bit forwardly placed, it's to her advantage, and I think she could run a very big one at 6-1. So watch out for her. She'll be used on a multi-race ticket, along with the 5-horse Sister Charlie. She's a complete opposite of Holy Helena. Holy Helena could be forwardly placed. This horse is deep closer. Sister Charlie, 9-5. John Velasquez is on this one. Chad Brown. You know, this horse's most recent outing came on the 14th of April, Keeneland, mile 16th in the Grade 1 Jenny Wiley. She won by 2 1/4 lengths, and she came from nowhere to get the victory. You know, from the parking lot. She closed up well, got the victory, and a decent effort for this horse. First off, a pretty long layoff. Before that, here at Belmont Park, a 1 1/4 inner turf course in Belmont Oaks Invitational. This horse finished second by a neck that day. A little bit wide, but she got a great turn of foot there to get the victory. And then before that, this horse ran a Shunti in the Prix de Diane, which is basically the French Oaks. This horse finished second by a length. You know, she closed up well. She just missed, but it wasn't a bad outing there at at Shunti. I like this horse a lot here today. I think she could close up well. She'll be used on a multi-race for me. Also, to recount my selections now for the 9th race from Belmont. It's the 75th running of the New York, the Grade 2 New York. Gonna go as a top selection, the 2-horse Holy Helena. I'm gonna go 2, 5, 6, 8 in the superfecta. I'll go 2, 5 in a multi-race scenario, like a pick 4, pick 5, pick 3, whatever I want to play. I'm actually probably gonna play a pick 3 starting off for race number 8. I'll recap that pick 3 in a second, but we're gonna head on to race number 9. We're gonna head on to race number 10 now from Belmont, which is a great race. The 10th race. It's the 5th running of the Belmont Gold Cup Invitational. Grade 2 purse $400,000. This race is for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 3,200 meters, or the distance of ground of 2 miles on the Widener turf course. 3,200 meters, 2 miles. It's a distance you never see here in North America. I believe this is the only graded 2 mile turf race in North America. But it's a it's a good race. You see some in the years past, you see some good horses running it. This year you have a very nice horse running in it. I think the 4 horse Funny Kid. He's going to be my top selection. I'm going to go 4-1-3-6 in the superfecta. 4-1-3-6 super. The top selection, the 4 horse Funny Kid, 5-1, 5-year-old horse by Lemon Drop Kid, won the '99 British Belmont Stakes here at Belmont, beating Charismatic. But Maxime Guillon is on this one Funny Kid. Horse's most recent outing came in France on the 29th of April at Longchamp, a mile 15/16, which is 3,000 meters, or excuse me, 3,100 meters, just a half furlong under the 2,000, just a half furlong under the 2 mile trip, so it's a mile 7.5 furlongs in the Group 3 Prix de Barville. This horse won by a half length that day. He quickened up nicely and just had a very nice, easy victory there. Before that, in the All-Weather Championship Marathon at Lingfield, 2 miles on March the 30th, this horse won by nose, and that afternoon at Lingfield, the French horses were doing incredibly well. This horse, he just quickened up nicely and had a very nice victory there. And then at Wolverhampton, January the 15th, 2 miles 16s, 3,300 meters, and just a basic conditions handicap. Horse won by a neck. Again, at 8-1, he quickened up nicely. Again, just missed, but it wasn't a bad outing there. Before that, won a very nice staying race at Deauville on the all-weather, and then before that, ran third in a very nice Shunty lounge race. He's a horse that could definitely stay here today. I like his running stuff, sitting a little bit closer here. At 5-1, watch out for him. Another horse I like here a lot is the 1 horse Called to Mind. It's 4-year-old colt by Galileo. Javier Castellano gets the leg up on this one for William Haggis, who trains this 4-year-old colt by Galileo, owned by Her Majesty the Queen. Yes, that's right, the Queen of England owns this horse. She owns a lot of horses in the United Kingdom, and I don't remember a lot of them running here in the stateside, but this horse is a nice horse. She ran most recently at York during a big festival a few weeks ago. The 18th of May, a mile 3/4, 2,800 meters in the Group 2 Yorkshire Cup. She finished third by he finished third by 1 1/4 lengths that day. Just never had a good closing kick that day. Really couldn't keep up with them. The winner Stradivarius just ran a little bit of a better race. Before that, Newberry, 2,400 meters, a mile and a half in the Group 3 Surprise Stakes. This horse finished fourth by 5 3/4 lengths. The winner Defoe, who won next start out, ran a hell of a race. This horse that day, again, just really wasn't getting there. And then before that, in the Brie Chardonnay Stakes at Shunty, mile 7/8 last September, this horse finished second by a neck. He just missed at the end. It was a great ride by Frankie Dettori. It was a decent effort there. The winner Ice Breeze that they didn't win next start out. This horse hasn't won since the just the basic listed stakes at Goodwood last August. A mile 3/4, 2,800 meters staying. This horse won by 1/4 lengths. Didn't break all that well, but he had a decent turn of foot at the end. Should definitely get the 2 mile trip here today. I like this horse a lot at 7-2. Personally, I don't think you're going to get 7-2 at post time. I have a feeling this horse is going to go off as a very heavy favorite, mainly because the Queen owns this horse, and she doesn't run a lot of horses in America. But, this horse should run well. Watch out for him. And another horse I would put on a multi-race ticket is the 3-horse Prince of Iran, 12-1. This 5-year-old gelding by Scirocco. And if you all remember, Scirocco did win the 2005 Breeders' Cup Turf here at Belmont very nicely. Very nice German-bred horse. And by the way, I did have him that day and had... for me, I think I was 10 at the time. I had my old man bet $10 to win on him, and I think it went off at I think it went off at like 20-1 or something stupid like that. And at 10 years old, I had a lot of money. Let's say that. Had a few winners during that 2005 Breeders' Cup. Had Scirocco. Who else did I had? I had I think Artie Schiller, and I had who was the horse in the juvenile? God, I can't remember. And I had one more horse that didn't win Ouija board. Fucking Jerry Bailey rode a horrible race that day, but he did win with St. Liam later in that afternoon. But go back, watch the replay of that 2005 Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf, and watch the ride Jerry Bailey gave Ouija board. I don't criticize riders very often, but that was one of the worst rides I've ever seen. But back to this 3-horse Prince of Iran. Like I said, Charlie Fellows trained this one, coming in from the UK to run. I have Rider 2's Junior gets on this one. This horse ran at Chester a few weeks ago, 2 miles 5/16 in the Chester Cup. Chester, for me to explain it to an American, Chester is I look at those races like I would look at Aqueduct, the old inner track. You need speed from the rail. This horse just didn't have that day. He finished 6 by 8 3/4 lengths. He never really got a good closing kick. Like I said, you need speed from the rail there. So throw that race out. Before then, the Dubai Gold Cup at Meydan, 2 miles, March 31st. The best stayers in the world ran there. He finished 8th by 5.5 lengths. He couldn't catch the winners in front of him, who just ran a little bit better. The winner, Viziravad, won next start out this past week in France, or 2 weeks ago now. And then before that, Nat Al Shib Trophy at Meydan, mile 3/4. Horse finished 8th by 23.25 lengths. Never really got there. Again, it was the local preference for the Gold Cup. It just wasn't his day to win. But his last start facing, not group quality horses, staying was at Meydan the 15th of May in a handicap. Horse won by a nose. He quickened up nicely and had a very nice easy victory there. And then he just missed in a handicap staying at Meydan before that, finishing second by 3/4 length. Quickened up nicely, just missed at the end, but it wasn't a bad run. Here with lower weight than he's been running with in the UK, not so tough for horses staying here. I think this horse should run a big one at 12:20. He's a horse you definitely want on your ticket also, so watch out. So to recap my selections now for race number 10 from Belmont, it's the 5th running of the Belmont Gold Cup, the Grade 2 Belmont Gold Cup. As a top selection here, I'm going to go with the 4-horse Funny Kid. I'm going to go 4-1-3-6 of the superfecta. I'll go 4-1-3 in a multi-race. I might actually use the 6-horse also, but I have to see how much the ticket's going to go. I don't want the ticket to go, very expensive. But the 6 might be used, but definitely the 4-1-3 will be used. So that was 4-1-3-6 in the super. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me tomorrow for my Belmont Stakes preview here on YouTube.